Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Jamaica. I'm a mommy and teacher from Tennessee, and this is Life with Miss Jamaica. But once again, we are on summer break. Today's video is all about what I do the first week of school. Mind you, I don't have any of my things here at home, so I printed off what I could from my TPT that I used the beginning of the school year. But like all my read alouds and all my things are at school, so I'll have to show you my whole back to school tote when we go back into the classroom super soon. They're actually working on the floors this week, so I'm super excited. But today I'm just going to show you small things that I do the first week of school to hopefully help you out in your classroom. But I'm going to start this video by letting you know that our first week of school is staggered days because I do teach pre-K. So we have a quarter of our kids every day for 4 days, and then we'll have like all girls or all boys or all one mixture and all another mixture. Everyone doesn't start school on the same day. We'll have like 4 Monday, 4 Tuesday, 5 Wednesday, 5 Thursday, all boys maybe on Friday, all girls maybe on that Monday, then everyone comes back on Tuesday. So when you see these activities, I don't want you to be like, girl, you're only doing like 4 things a whole week of school. Yes, because I have to do the same things for 4 days. That being said, let's get started with what I do the first week of pre-K. Also, we have our iced coffee in hand. I have this new iced coffee sleeve from Junebox, and I think it's the cutest thing ever. I love it. First week of school is honestly just getting to know your kids and making them comfortable at school, because with them being pre-K kids, they've never been to school before, so this is terrifying. In the first week of school, I love to just have things talking about their feelings, things having them up and engaged, and making school exciting for them from day one. A freebie on TPT from the Proactive Classroom, and I start off my day with the students coming in and having this color sheet at their table. My students do eat breakfast in the classroom, so they'll eat breakfast in the room. When they get done with their breakfast, they'll get their coloring sheet. When they're done with their coloring sheet, again, this is like an easy, soft start. I'll go ahead and introduce their morning bins. I let them eat their breakfast, do their coloring sheet, and then I'll tell them that every morning when they come in, they'll have a chance to get a morning bin. I will definitely show you guys my morning bins in the classroom. They have made such a difference in my classroom because they're giving your kids and yourself an easy start to the day. Your kids are starting their days with fine motor activities with Legos, hashtag blocks, magnetic tiles, so many different things to go ahead and get their brain working and ready for the day. So we'll do that, but mind you, with me having 4 kids there, I go ahead and bring myself to the table so I can sit with them and teach them how to use the different items in their box. We'll do that until announcements are over, and then we'll go ahead and learn how to transition to the carpet. At that moment, I'm going ahead and like teaching while we're playing. I'm telling them like when we leave an area, we clean it up first. So let's clean up our box, close it, and put it back on the shelf, and then let's go sit on our cool carpet. We get to the carpet, that's when we get to the nitty gritty, the fun stuff. In my pre-K classroom, we have a morning meeting, then it goes into circle time, and then we have like recess, lunch in the middle of that, and then it goes into our last circle time. So only 2 circle times in my pre-K class. For the first circle time, we talk all about feelings. It's so important to start talking about feelings on the first day of school because everybody is feeling all the feels, okay? You have to remember that these are just little bitty people who have never been to this big old place before, and they don't know what is going on. So we start talking about feelings. We talk about how everyone is feeling at school that day. Since you have a smaller group, you have more opportunities to have those conversations on the carpet. But just letting you know, your kids are going to be a little timid to speaking with you because they don't know you just yet. About how we're feeling, and then we talk about different feelings and emotions. My favorite thing to do with that is put different emojis in a Google slide, and we'll look at the emojis and talk about how they're feeling based off their facial expressions. Because one thing for sure, all your kids know about emojis. And then we also do a fun activity where we try to make those different feeling emotions with our faces, and it is so funny and so engaging. This year I'm really excited because I'm adding these little feeling plushies from Really Good Stuff into my classroom. I'm gonna screenshot it and put it right here. I'll be adding those, so we'll also be using those in the classroom when talking about feelings and making those feeling faces and showing different emotions and talking about the vocabulary words that go along with your feelings. My favorite read aloud when it comes to talking about feelings in our morning meeting time is If You're Angry and You Know It. It is so sticking good. It gets your kids up and moving. One of the little parts is like, if you're angry and you know it, stomp your feet, boom, boom. And your kids can practice stomping their feet, and then they like cross their arms and they walk away and all these things. But then it ends with teaching them like Those are if you're angry. They're not the right way to show that you're angry. Instead, do these things. Great for talking about what you see when you're angry, but what you really should do when you're angry. Once we finish talking about feelings, my students do this little activity along with me on the carpet. It says, this is how I'm feeling today. Mind you, this is old Rockin' Their Pre-K Life Jamaica that made this, and this font is hideous. So I think I want to redo this one. Students will have 4 choices of a just clip art right here that they think resonates with them the most. So I have 2 boy options and 2 girl options, and we draw a picture of how we're feeling for that day. I hope to get all smiley face pictures, but sometimes your kids will draw themselves crying, and it is so sad. Talking about feelings and talking about that all feelings are okay, and it's okay to feel those feelings, but we're going to learn in pre-K how to work through those feelings. Something I'm super excited about is introducing our new feelings phone in the classroom. As you know, I have a huge M&M in my classroom. He's yellow. He's our positive behavior store. And now we're going to be adding the red M&M as our feelings phone. On here, I'm going to be putting different feelings on here. So a happy, sad, mad, shy, anxious, different feelings on here, and my students will be able to choose a feeling and then just talk about how they're feeling that day if they don't want to tell me. Great way to show that I want my students to use their voice and talk about different situations even if they don't want to talk to an adult about it just yet. So we'll be introducing our feelings phone, and I'll let my students take turns going to the feelings phone and telling Mr. M&M exactly how they feel for the day. So they might say, today I feel happy because it is my first day of pre-K. How cute is that? But also it's going to be great if our kids are coming into school and they're having a really hard day. They don't want to talk to us. We can send them and let them go talk to the feelings phone, and they can tell the feelings phone, maybe I'm having a bad day today because I didn't get much sleep last night. Great way to teach your kids to use their words, but also teaching them that it is okay to feel their feelings. Just let it out. This is going to be our newest addition to the classroom next school year. That will be our morning meeting. Trust me, it won't take too long because you're just talking about feelings. Again, your kids aren't going to talk to you as much the first week of school, and also you have a smaller group of just like 4 kids. We get done with morning meeting, it is time to go into circle time. But before I do that, I make sure every single day, not just the first week of school, we do brain breaks in the classroom. I have my brain breaks already embedded into my Google Slides, so I'll never forget to give my kids a break. So we'll do that activity, color our faces, then come back to the carpet and do a little dance party, have a brain break, and then we'll sit back down, crisscross applesauce. I'll make it such a big deal that they sat down. I'll be like, whoa, you guys sat so good. Let's go ahead and talk about our carpet time rules. For my carpet time rules, I always use these carpet time little printouts that I have. They're great visuals in the classroom. I plan on making something for you guys for that because y'all ask about it every year when I share it on Instagram and I can't find them, so it'll be great for you guys to have them. It goes into when you go to the carpet, first you look for your seat, and I make sure to do all of these hand movements to really make my kids remember and make it so much more fun. I tell my students when they come to the carpet, first you look for your seat and you find it. You sit down crisscross applesauce. You put your hands in your lap. You make sure your eyes are on the teacher and your listening ears are on. We'll practice that a few times, making it really dramatic. So we'll go back to our seat and I'm like, okay, time to go to the carpet. And they'll go and they'll practice. They'll look for their seat. They'll sit down crisscross applesauce, put their hands in their lap, make sure their eyes are on me, and turn their ears on. And definitely when you do the eyes on me part, make sure you really look into their souls because they think it's really funny. So I'll practice that a few times to have the kids still up and moving and having fun in the classroom, and then we'll start our school tour. If you've been here for a while, you know all about my Pete the Cat school scavenger hunt that I do every single year. I've been doing it for maybe like 4 years now, and it's still a hit. So during the first week of school, definitely during staggered attendance, I love to have my kids go on a scavenger hunt around their school. That way you can talk about your hallway expectations when they're walking in the hallway, but also they're going to tour their big new school and meeting all their specialty teachers. Actually made my heart so happy because me and the 2 other pre-K teachers did it together. So they brought all their kids into my classroom, and the first thing I do is read Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes. You read that book, you go into the red shoes and the blue shoes and the brown shoes and like the wet shoes, have so much fun with that read aloud, and then you tell your students that Pete the Cat is hiding in the classroom. I have this Pete the Cat plushie from Kohl's, and he's in the room hiding and the kids are looking for him. When they find Pete, Pete tells them, oh my gosh, you found me, thank you so much. It is also my first day of school, but I've lost all my shoes. He asked the kids, will they go on a scavenger hunt and go look for his shoes around the school? And your kids are so excited and they cannot wait to go on a scavenger hunt and find all of Pete's shoes. This scavenger hunt takes them around the school. They'll go to, for me, we go to PE, we go to the library, we go to the cafeteria, we go to music, we go to every single place your kids will go in the school. These are what the shoes look like that your kids are looking for at the school, and each shoe sends them to a different color. And then lastly, they'll find Pete on his skateboard. And what makes it super fun is that when they get back, they have their own shoe to decorate for Pete the cat. This is up on my TPT also. The clues are completely editable because I know you want to make it personal for your school, obviously. I use it every single year. I promise you, it's so much fun. And also, again, you're going into your hallway expectations. You're teaching your kids to walk in a line, make sure their hands are behind their back, and make sure their mouths are quiet. One of my favorite things is seeing your kids when they find a shoe, but you've taught them to be like, have a quiet voice. They're just like, and pointing to the shoe. You're like, oh my gosh, you found a shoe. And then once you find the shoe, you talk about the area in the school. So for example, Pete first sends them to the red shoe. They find the red shoe at my school at the gym. So once they find the red shoe, then we talk about the gym, and we talk about them going to PE in here. We dismiss school from here. You arrive to school in here. All the things about the gym. And we keep reading the clue, and it sends them to the blue shoe. Think at my school, the blue shoe is at the office. So then we talk about like, who's in the office? Why do you go to the office? All the things. So great for a school tour, teaching hallway expectations, and showing your kids how much fun they're going to have at school. This does take up a little bit of the day because your kids are walking, you're teaching them their expectations, you're finding clues, you're talking about those places in the school. So I love this activity. I definitely think you should bring it into your classroom. Always give your kids a tour when they go back to school. Don't forget, they're little bitty people in this big new place. Once we get back from our tour, usually it's like time to go to recess, and you talk about the recess rules, of course. Make sure you talk about them before your kids go play. Practice them coming to you when you blow a whistle and things like that, so you know what to expect. And then we go to lunch, and again, go over your lunchtime expectations. Go over you raising your hand when you want your tray thrown away, everything you do then also. Then it's time to go back to the room, and let's do some centers. Little advice when it comes to centers is don't have too many things out on the shelves in the beginning of the school year, because that is a recipe for disaster. Your kids are just learning to play with things, clean them up, and put them back. So make sure you have like a minimal amount of items on the shelves. What I do is put like a coming soon sticker on the buckets that have nothing in them, and I tell my kids like, oh, that means that this one's going to have something in it soon, but let's make sure that we know how to clean up these items first. What is so fun about the beginning of school is that since you have a smaller amount of kids, you can go to every center with the kids and teach them about every single item that they can engage with. If you don't know, I do center rotations in my classroom, but we definitely will not start that the first week of school. We'll just have our center time, and we'll just go around the area together and talk about how we can go from center to center to center, but first we have to clean up. With me doing that, I'll be using my visual timer and walking around with it with the kids, so we'll know exactly when to clean up. When I do my center rotations, I usually have the timer in the center slides, but that will be much later, probably when we start letters, and that's not like till 5 weeks we're into school, something like that. So we won't start the center rotations for a while, so this will be our timer for centers. Go around the centers with the kids. We'll try to go to every single center, so that's math, writing, alphabet, the library, the dramatic play, the art, the blocks, and the STEAM center in one day with the kids, like using that full hour center time to teach them about every single area, but also have fun. And I'll set our timer for how long we have to play. We'll set it on the table, and the students will already start understanding this visual of like, okay, this is how long I have. When it gets smaller and smaller and smaller, I know my time is running up, and then I know it's time to clean up. Go ahead and set that expectation of when the timer goes off, it's time to clean. We clean, we put everything on the table, then we can move to the next place. Kids have an hour of free center time, and then also like 45 minutes of our center rotation time. So we'll do this twice that first week of school. First time we'll do it with the rotations. I'll just go everywhere and have the kids talking to me about the centers, and we'll talk about how we use them, and we'll talk about our timer. And then that free center time, I'll actually let them go free, and I'll just like kind of like monitor what they're doing, but still make sure they're keeping their eyes on the timer to see when their time is out. After centers, we go into our last circle time, and for my last circle time, I read my favorite book ever, David Goes to School. David Goes to School, again, is the perfect activity to talk about behaviors in your classroom. That whole first week of school is just going to be procedures, behaviors, feelings. That's really it. Also, if you do portfolio, go ahead and record those portfolio videos, just letting you know. With the No David activity, what I love to do is read the book first, talk about all the silly things that David was doing and how they were no David choices. So we'll go through the book and I'll tell them, hey, when we read this book, we're going to see him do a few things at school that we do not do. So you'll tell me, is that a no David or a yes David behavior? Obviously, through almost the whole book, there are no David behaviors. But at the end of the book, you know, David gets a gold star, and that is definitely a yes David behavior. He made up for all those mistakes he made throughout the day. The book also shows your students that even though they might make a bad choice, they can always make up for it by making a good choice in return. We'll go through the book, making it super fun and engaging, and doing the no David or yes David throughout the book. Afterwards, we're going to my yes David and no David sorting activity. This is a super fun activity to again talk about behaviors, and your students are up, engaged, and using their incredible thinking brains to sort out yes David and no David behaviors. These are not all of the sorting sheets, but these are just a few of the no David behaviors that your students will be able to sort if you decide to do this activity in your classroom. Hitting, not sharing, not listening, refusing to clean up, throwing items, and putting items in your mouth, which we know in pre-K is a struggle. They can sort the no David behaviors under the no David, and then also sorting the yes David under the yes David behaviors. We do this, I have all of the cards just in a bag, maybe like a brown paper bag, because they're going to pull them blindly. So make them close their eyes and they pull out a card. Let's pull one. Pull a card. Then they'll look at it. My favorite thing is that it's actually a visual, so your students can figure out if that's a yes David or no David behavior all by themselves using those incredible thinking brain. So waiting your turn, is that a yes David or a no David? And your student will put it up there by themselves saying this is a yes David behavior. I use these on my magnetic easels, and I put a magnetic like tape strip on the back, and then it makes it super easy and engaging and quick and easy to do. So this is up on my TPT also. Great for sorting behaviors and talking about behaviors in your classroom. Yes David and no David. I'll also leave this up for a while because when they all come back to school, we talk about this activity again, and we'll do it again, honestly, with like the whole group of boys and the whole group of girls, just to remember the yes and no David behaviors that we do. And then we'll also just refer back to it on that Tuesday when everyone comes to school. That will pretty much be our whole day in pre-K. The scavenger hunt, the no David, yes David, sorting behaviors activity. If you're anchoring your know it and talking about feelings, and a whole lot of centers and introducing them to the procedures and how things work in the classroom. So those are the first 4 days, those staggered days, and then when I have all boys and all girls, those 2 days, we'll talk again about the procedures on how to go to the carpet, how to sit, making it a fun game again by having more kids involved so it gets even more fun. And then that day, since I have more kids, when we go into centers, I'll also do a small group time. In the small group time, I'll have my kids do this little activity. So this is about their first day of school, but we'll do it on the first day with all boys and the first day with all girls. So first day of school memory. I had so much fun. I was a bit scared at first, but now that's done. I got my hands a little dirty, as you can see. This is my first day of school picture made with my fingers and me. First day of school 2024. So my kids will go to the table and they'll just paint this and have a super fun time. I'll let it dry and I'll laminate it and send it home with them, and they'll have their first day of school memory, which is so stinking cute. That will be during the center time portion of that day, but again, you're kind of repeating exactly what you did those last 4 days because they don't remember anything, and then you've added more kids into the mix and you done shook the game, so they need that review. Also, with all of my boys and girls coming to school, when they've come on their Saturday, I will send them home with a brown paper bag. The brown paper bag will be their About Me bag. And that will be one of our circle times when all the boys and all the girls come. An About Me bag, they'll be putting what their favorite toy is, drawing a picture maybe, or printing out their favorite show, putting something there that's their favorite color, bringing maybe like a printout of their favorite food, anything about them that we can learn about our new friends in our classroom. That will be one circle time that we do, which will be so exciting, so much fun. We'll do it the day that all the boys come, the day that all the girls come, and then I'll keep those bags and we'll do it the first day that everyone comes to school. I recommend doing About Me bag. I have a template for that coming to TPT super soon. I'm really excited about it. It's something that makes your students so excited to come back to school that second time because they get to bring something cool from home. The biggest thing that I'll add into that time is that I will not do the Pete the Cat scavenger hunt again because we've already did it. So what we'll do is we'll add in the David activity again and talking about David and his behaviors, and then we'll start talking about how that they can be bucket fillers in the classroom. I do bucket fillers in my classroom and my students earn their fillers. I will tell my students what they can get from like our positive behavior store. They went home with a red face or a green face, all the things. So our bucket fillers are really a big part of the classroom for students to show their parents and themselves how amazing they're doing every single day. I blow this up into a poster and it is just a big old bucket and it says, how can we be bucket fillers in our classroom? So again, you've already talked about behaviors the first day they've came. You talked about behaviors again that they're there again, and now it's time to see if they've grasped the concept and they can tell you exactly how they can be bucket fillers by making those positive behaviors in the classroom, or those yes David behaviors. This activity, I use sticky notes and I blow this up again into a big old poster, and as my kids are telling me things, I write on a sticky note and stick it into our bucket. I do this with all the boys and then I do it with all the girls, and then when we all come back to school, we can talk about all the different things that the boys and girls said, how they compare, and how that we're all on the same page about being bucket fillers in our classroom. This is so great for teaching your kids how to raise their hand when they want to say something on the carpet. So you've already taught them to look for their seat. They say crisscross applesauce, put their hands in their lap. Their eyes are on you. Their listening ears are on. And now let's add in raising your hand. This is great for that. Your students are practicing raising their hand when they want to say something. They raise their hand. They're like, I have one. We can be bucket fillers by being a nice friend. You write that on a sticky note and you stick it into the bucket. You're giving them instant praise, like, oh my gosh, great job, and you're already setting the tone for the school year. Add that in, and then for my bucket fillers, I just use these little pom-poms. These are from Discount School Supplies. We practice putting some fillers in our bucket because that makes it so much more fun and engaging, and then they can go to their table and they get to color this paper that says, I am a bucket filler, and then it's a little bucket on it. I mean, it's so stinking cute. Center thing, the same way we did it the last time. Make sure they're watching the visual timer, and then again we'll talk about feelings again, talking about our feeling phone and how we use our feeling phone in the classroom. So do one of my favorite songs ever. It's like I Can Follow the Rules song. It's like, I can follow the rules, I can follow the rules, and we'll have a good day when I follow the rules. If you don't do that song the first week of school, what are you doing? It's the best song ever. It goes into every single rule. Like, I can listen to my teacher, listen to my teacher, can follow the rules. I love it. So we'll do that song. Pretty much my all boys and all girls days. We do the About Me bag for the first circle time, the No David activity with bringing in the bucket fills for the second circle time, and then a whole lot of centers and going over procedures. But that is pretty much what I do the first week of pre-K. Again, it's very repetitive because I have to do the same thing for 4 days, and then last day I can add in a little something new. We add in talking about the bucket fillers, still talking about David, still talking about feelings, still talking about basic routines in the classroom, but everything is pretty repetitive. My biggest advice for you is to make sure everything is so much fun, so engaging, your kids are up and moving, and please make sure they're not sitting crisscross applesauce the whole circle time. Your kids will instantly get bored. When they get bored, they want to go home. When they want to go home, they're going to start crying for their mom. So please make sure you have them up and moving. Again, I do not have my whole back to school tote because it is at my school. So this is the things that are just on the top of my head that I do the first week of school. So when we're in the classroom for like classroom setup and things like that, I'll go back into what I do the first week of school because I know I've forgotten so many things. Something I'm super excited to add, Polaroid camera that I got on sale at Walmart. I'm going to be using this in the classroom. I'm going to be making an entire wall in my room, and it's just going to be dedicated to like my kids' classroom memories. memories. So the title will be my classroom memories, literally, or my school memories, some of my favorite memories at school, something like that, okay? And this will be a big part of our first week of school. I'll be taking pictures of my kids and we'll be seeing how they instantly print out, and we'll be putting them on a whole Polaroid wall in the classroom, and I'm so excited to add this. What I'm going to love the most is that since it's going to be used that first day of school, when my different kids come on the staggered days, they can go ahead and come in and see those new friends on the wall that they haven't even met yet. So I definitely recommend getting you a little Polaroid camera for your classroom. I mean, how many times do we take pictures of our kids and then they just stay in our camera roll on our phone and we do nothing with them? So I'm going to start taking pictures with this and putting them on the wall, so when people come and visit our classroom, they can see how much fun we're having every single day. Pretty much my first week of school. Again, if I forget anything, we'll definitely talk about it again. I'll definitely show you the Angering You Know It book to show you guys a visual of it, because it is my favorite book ever. Sure, you can look it up on YouTube and just like play the book in your classroom to talk about feelings those first few days, but that's pretty much everything that I do. I'm hoping that I gave you some ideas that you can do in your classroom that first week of school. I really hope you have staggered days like me in your pre-K classroom, because it makes it so much easier with transitioning little 4-year-olds into a big school. Don't forget to subscribe and join the family over here with Life with Miss Jamaica. Classroom setup videos should be coming super soon. I'm so excited about it. I've bought so many new things for my classroom that are in this room that I cannot wait to get out of here. Make sure you like this video and subscribe down below. Let me know any more video recommendations that you have for me, and I cannot wait to film them. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Have a great first week of school. I hope these ideas help you out.